Hey guys, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Well, the UPS man's been showing up quite a bit lately, and I've got some more products to install and review. Today I'm going to be installing a lumbar support onto one of the seats in our Ram 3500 truck. Now, when we bought the truck, we went with pretty bare bones interior, kind of the tradesman edition, but one thing we really wanted was lumbar support, especially for Anne. She has a poor back, and on a long trip it can kind of get sort of uncomfortable. So I purchased this one off of Amazon. One of my viewers recommended it. He said his dealer installed this and it worked really well. In the US it goes for about $100 for the kit. The Canadian Amazon was $131. And basically I'm going to install this under the seat. That's a pump, and there's a little switch connected to 12 volts, and then it installs in the seat and pumps up when you hit the switch and deflates when you hit it the other way. A couple other things I have on the go. I'm testing a new lithium battery from a company, SOK battery, just in the middle of tests. That'll be coming up in the future. And I'm also installing an upgrade to our kitchen. I'm finally getting rid of that cheap plastic sink that came with the Cougar, and I'm going to install a nice stainless sink. Kind of decided to do this because Lippert had sent out one of their faucets for install and review. They didn't have a sink that matched my opening, so I went ahead and bought myself this just so we have a nice upgrade of both of them. So stay tuned for that. But today we're going to install this lumbar support into Big Blue. Okay, so passenger seat, I pulled out the jack that lives under here, so I got lots of room to deal with. I think what I'm going to do for power, there is some sort of power under there, I think, for the seat belt alarm. But I'm going to go inside here. I've already set up, spliced into the cigarette lighter power, and I use it for my dash cam and my backup camera, GPS, that sort of thing. So this whole front face in the Ram comes off very easily, a couple of screws and some snaps. I'll be able to run the wire underneath there. They give you quite a length of cable here. So I have lots of cabling to work with. And I'll run that in there, and then I'll splice in my negative and positive 12 volts. And then this thing can get zip tied to the springs under the seat. So I think I can get all that installed, and I can install the bladder and see if she's been using this cushion as support. This is going to be nice for her. So we'll put the bladder behind here and I'll be able to pump up for lumbar. So let's get to taking that apart and splicing in the wire. Give you a quick look behind there where I spliced it. So yeah, this thing, 2 screws and just unclips, which makes it quite handy. And because I have the tradesman edition, I have like a big cavern back here. Anyway, I can link to the video before, but you can see in there I have 3, like a splitter for cigarette lighters. There's 3 different ones there, and it's spliced into my main cigarette lighter output, which is nice because it kind of leaves the cigarette lighter on the outside free. People worried about maybe that those would rattle loose or be bad connections, but so far it must be almost a year since I did that and I haven't had any problems. I think I'll just leave it the way it is. I could always go in and splice everything together. But anyway, you see the red and white wire. That's spliced into the wire that's coming from the cigarette lighter power. And I just soldered it in place. Now I'm going to, wrap up and isolate those so nothing shorts out. So I'll give you a quick look. Comes up from underneath here, which is nicely tucked underneath there. You can see where it's going in under my floor mats here, all hidden, and it goes in way behind there, so you don't see it at all, which worked out kind of nice. There's my Jackery there. That's a good handy tool. I'm really happy with this little Jackery 500. If I need to solder something, I can bring my good gun in here, plug it in, turn the AC on, and I've got power anywhere. So we'll pop that back together, and then we'll get to work under here mounting that bag in place. Actually, I thought first I'd put the airbag in here. That was kind of a hassle wrangling it in. I wanted to get it in front of the springs, between the springs and the seat cushion here. So just the way things are done in there, it's hard to see. But I had to turn it kind of like sideways, put it way at the top, then drop it down, and then turn it and force it kind of in between there. But a lot of sharp edges in there, you gotta watch out. Cut yourself pretty easy. But anyway, I got it down basically right here, right behind the cushion here, and in between the seat springs. Let's go in the back seat here. So on mine, there's these clips that undo, and then this pops up. I was able to feed the air line down in between here, and I'm going to be able to mount this underneath, and she's gonna. So we'll finish that up and give her a test. Pretty easy on my seat. Of course, it's going to be different on all seats. But this is the way the Ram seats are. They're kind of set up that you can easily change the whole seat covers on them. Another alternative would be to unbolt everything and just pull the whole seat out. Looks like there's maybe 4 bolts or something. You can get the whole seat out there and work on it that way. Okay, quick test and it was working. Woohoo! Last thing is to mount the switch. I think what I'm going to do is put it right there. Right on the seat there. There's a little bit of a cavity behind there, and that'll be a handy place to get to. It'll look just like factory. So I'm going to get my multi-tool and just cut out a right size hole to put that in there. This is the hardest part actually, making sure you cut a nice hole in your plastic seat cover here. So I just used the multi-tool and carefully cut a hole a little bit smaller, and then I've been slowly whittling it out with a box cutter knife. Looks good. Got the jack back in place, so we're ready to test. Not super fast, but definitely coming out at the Lombard. So the pump fills it up, and then when you press the other way, your body weight deflates it. Well, I had Ann give it a try, and I definitely earned some brownie points with this upgrade to the truck. Now she has this big bulge in the seat to fill her empty spine. If you want to see any more of the upgrades I've done to Big Blue 2, I'll put a link in the description. You can head over there. There's quite a few I've done over the last year and a half. Till next time, Ray from LoveyRV.com. Happy trails, everyone. Cheers, folks.